Good morning. Ukraine's president has warned Russia to expect a day of judgment instead of forgiveness, delivering his nightly address to the Ukrainian people. He said that hundreds of missiles had hit Ukraine, creating suffering for thousands. The casualties included a mum and her two young children killed in mortar fire as they tried to flee from Irpin near Kiev. As the shelling of civilian areas intensifies, people are desperate to escape, as you can imagine, with Ukraine. It's just heartbreaking. Alistair, what have you been seeing over the last few hours?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the images are...
I'm just processing those figures that we gave to the Minister. Yep, the Prime Minister did say 100 individuals. He told Parliament 100 individuals last week had been sanctioned, 100 Russian individuals. Our figures are suggesting 15. He says they're wrong. We'll check those out further because we're not wrong, and we'll see what happens next. Coming up on that, 13,500 have started a visa application. 50 have been granted, but we are doing everything we can. Just a reminder that Poland have taken 1 million refugees so far, people going to the borders, holding up signs saying, we've got room, come and stay with us. A Brit trapped at the border in Calais with his family of 4 couldn't get across the border. United Nations says Russia's invasion of Ukraine has created the fastest growing refugee crisis since the Second World War. More than 1.5 million people have fled to neighbouring countries so far, including Romania. Ali is there for us this morning. The Minister was having none of it this morning. Ali, what are the countries bordering Ukraine doing? Two army reservists have got married at a checkpoint near Kiev, wearing their military uniforms. Lesia and Valerie tied the knot in front of fellow soldiers and a military chaplain. How lovely is that? Now, what about if that didn't do it for you? What about this one? Apparently, that's a rendition of Frozen in Ukrainian. This little girl kept Ukrainian spirits up even when holed up in a bomb shelter with her rendition of Let It Go. In the past hour, I asked the Europe Minister James Cleverly why so few visas had been processed. And I used the example of a British man trying to return home who's stuck in France with his Ukrainian family because UK authorities won't let them in. It was a testy exchange this morning.
Indeed, you feel that the government are very defensive, get sponsored by an organisation or a local council, for example, but we don't really have any details of that scheme orders, as she herself has seen when she went to Poland this week, and clamour from Labour.
He did, and as far as the economic crime bill that's coming through later on today, Labour want that to be reduced significantly so that people don't have time to hide their money, I'm guessing.
That's why Putin have been sanctioned by the EU and by the US, but not by us.
OK. See, I'm not going mad. Thank you. I'll see you at 9 o'clock for tomorrow's tape. Look forward to it. Thank you. Now, Sky News has spoken to families fleeing their homes in the town of Irpin. That's such a shame. Can you hear me now, Bruce? Nope. We'll go back to Bruce in just a second. We're also going to be bringing for you in just a few moments what Labour thinks about what the government will be doing as far as economic crime bill is concerned. The government want that in place within 6 months. Labour is saying that should be in place within 28 days. They're going to be discussing that in the House of Commons later on today, and we'll be discussing it with Labour at the top of the next hour. Before that, though, have a look at... should we see if we can get Bruce? Hi, Bruce.
Hello, good morning.
Bravo, bravo! Little girl kept Ukrainian spirits up even when holed up in a bomb shelter with her rendition in Ukrainian of Let It Go. Look at her little face.